was it Paul Thomas? You said. Who asked
yes,
why,
Paul
why,
Thomas,
why Nate Wiggins over Kool-Aid McKinstry? Spinny, you were excited to answer that one, so I guess I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I would take Nate Wiggins and Quinion Mitchell over Kool-Aid McKinstry personally. I think that when I talked about Quinion Mitchell, his effect playing in Toledo, I think the opposite is true for Kool-Aid McKinstry. You look at that Bama defense, and you have two great edge rushers. You have a good corner, the opposite of him. I don't think he was asked to do much. When I look at Kool-Aid McKinstry, he gives me similar, but not as serious or as critical, but a similar situation, to what we saw with Kelly Ringo last year, where Kelly Ringo in the beginning of the year and in the first, 6 weeks of the college football season this is the best cornerback in football. He is the best cornerback prospect in college football. He is going to be the first one off the board, and then he falls into the second round. Now, I don't think Kool-Aid is going to fall that far, but I do think that these other guys, they've done more with less. I think they've looked better on tape with less players around them, with less Alabama Nick Saban schemes around them. Like I like Kool-Aid, don't get me wrong, but he is third, maybe even fourth on my cornerback rankings, and I would take both Nate Wiggins and Quinion Mitchell over him.
Yeah, I think different players, but kind of same story when it comes to guys that have a lot of hype coming out of college versus like the actual production, how it may translate to the NFL level. And it's kind of like Brad Holmes said, you can't truly have like these nail intakes until you've seen them at that level. But I do have probably around the same thing as you, probably 4 or 5. I think he's more of a name like Keely Ringo than he was production wise as it translates to the league. I think he's got like great like straight line speed, but he, for some reason to me, when I watched him, he kind of lacked like the patience or just awareness, I guess, like mirror wide receivers, the way you've seen like Teron Arnold, who's on his exact same team. The same thing that I love about Nate Wiggins. Like when you watch these guys, man up against their wide receivers, whether it's like close or like off, they're able to like kind of like mirror, and if not, run the route for the wide receivers. I didn't see a lot of that from Kool-Aid McKinstry. I saw a lot of like him being kind of physical at the top of routes, being pushy, which he can. And I think there's a lack of competitiveness when it comes to like a Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes regime. I think there's a lack of competitiveness when it comes to like stripping the ball out at the point of contact. Where I think out of Quinion Mitchell, you see that. That's when he talked about it. He's really like physical. And then like Nate Wiggins, we talked about him just really chasing guys down the 1 yard line to make them fumble a ball. They're very competitive when it comes to like if the catch is made. You guys know what type of play I'm talking about. Sometimes you may see a catch made, DB rips it out. I don't think you see a lot of those instincts with Kool-Aid McKinstry, in my opinion. But we'll see. But to me, I don't think he's that top tier cornerback that everybody thinks he is. I think it's a lot similar to what we saw to Keely Ringo last year.